Why does that plus that equal that? And
That's very true, thanks.
And the other people don't have that. They don't feel ignorant and they don't feel upset that they don't understand. They understood the story. That little lamp, yes, it made me feel sad. This guy's trying to save something and recycle.
Oh yeah, it's recycling.
And I like colors.
I love it.
You know, people don't like art. Doesn't have to be so fucking complex. People like colors. That's what it is.
Mm-hmm.
End of story. They like the fucking blue. Boom. They want it, and they like you, and they like the story. So keep that in mind if you're an artist. The story is huge. You brought up before. You had some drug problems.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, like, when I first became an artist, that was a big part of my life, was, like, getting over that part of my life of the drug addiction. You know, that's 7 years ago. That's not who I am today as much, you know, so I don't talk about it as much anymore. But I did come out of a long, you know, period of alcohol and drug abuse where
and at the beginning, it was definitely your storyline.
Yeah, it was true. A big part of my
like
story.
not even...
You know, now I don't think about it every day because I don't want to think about it every day. That's a guy I'm not anymore. I don't need to think about him any day. I'm a completely different person.
So what's the storyline now?
Now the storyline is basically that that I had IBSD for the last 3 years. I was really sick. It was really hard for me to maintain my business. It was hard to maintain any sense of hope.
Still doing the same paintings, not the same rate.
Yeah, I never gave up.
So
I never stopped painting. I never stopped running my business. But one thing I did was I never told the truth about what I was going through. And I had a lot of trouble staying positive, and it showed on social media. And because I wasn't honest about
so now his story's being janked, right? Not being honest.
Yeah, because
so
I
the
wasn't...
story, no one even knows the story. You're probably making a fake story.
Yeah, and my story became I'm mad at Facebook because of their
Not
algorithms
genuine.
changed. It was genuine. I was mad at Facebook, but I wasn't able to get over it and make new things happen because I was so sick. I wasn't healthy. I had no energy. I couldn't think straight.
I'm going to call this a toxic storyline, right? In this scenario, because you had a toxic situation and illness, it was manifesting a toxic storyline.
But it's also
people are going to gravitate
it's also
towards
because
that.
I wasn't being honest. So, you know, it was like from everyone's appearance, I was just mad at the entity that helped me become successful, Facebook, because that's how I channeled it. I channeled it as being angry at Facebook, and
wasn't great for sales.
Oh, not really. Not at first. A few people had sympathy and maybe bought a bit more art, but as it became something that like became my storyline, it was definitely not good for business, nor for my mental health, nor for anything. And
let's just put a note in there. It is good for a storyline to be a victim sometimes.
Yeah,
you were a victim to Facebook, so it was good to voice out and let people know, like, these fucking jerks over here
are only showing 0.5% of my followers my posts.
They crushed small businesses. If you weren't there for the gold rush of Facebook, you might never know and never see anything like that. But it was free. Like, you were...
Yeah, I would get, like, sometimes my posts would I had, like, 400 followers, and my posts would get, like, 800 likes.
They would show it. They would
show it to other people, new people that aren't even following you, you know?
It was amazing.
Anyway, that's in the past. So is my ill health.
But hold on, this was my point was that when they did that, it's not that you should shy away from storylines that are negative. Sometimes
my point is you should be honest.
Yeah.
Negative or not.
People,
if you're
fucked, people want to know and side with you and be like, that's not right.
But
if you keep whining about being fucked, then that's lame.
There's also going to be people...
Shut up.
If you're really honest about why you're feeling down, there's going to be people who will reach out and maybe help you get out of that down. But if you're not honest, they won't know, and those right people can't reach out to you with the right solution. If you're honest, they can. So look, I got healthy in September 2018, like 3-4 months ago. I've been healthy again. I'm going to be honest, I feel a lot like I did when I got sober, because when I was drunk...
We're honest.
When I was drunk all the time and hungover, like, I couldn't run a business. And when I stopped living that way, I had all this free time and this extra energy to put towards my art, making it into a business, learning about it, reading articles about how to sell art online and how to build a website and this and that and the other thing. And now that I'm healthy, I have all this energy, I have all this time that I used to be spending 12 hours a day sleeping because I just had no energy. I was sick.
And I witnessed that.
So
I witnessed that, bro. This guy used to sleep how many hours a day?
Man, usually 10, 12, sometimes 14, 15.
Some people think that's normal. Well, not 15. That's not normal. Some people think 10 hours is normal.
If you're sick, it is.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, you need the rest. You should be resting. You shouldn't be overworking if you're actually sick. But if you're sleeping 10 hours a day and you think it's normal, chances are you're sick.
For sure. For sure.
Should
And
be
I knew
sleeping
I was
4,
sick, but I
6
had no hope
hours.
that I would ever get better. And because I lost my hope, partially because of the fact I was sick, I wasn't able to have hope just because of the fact, like, basically IBS, I wasn't able to digest my food properly. It all ran through me in minutes. I go to the bathroom 10, 15 times a day. My body didn't absorb nutrients because it didn't. I couldn't.
And one day
properly.
you were honest with me. That's what happened. One day you were honest with me and you told me that.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been chilling here for a couple months, and I had no idea.
Because I could put on a mask for an hour or two a day, or if I really had to, I could even put on a mask for 8 hours a day once a month.
We did events, bro.
Yeah.
We did events. You stood at a table all day. You didn't even go to the bathroom once. So in that scenario, you're not even eating. You're fucking.
No, I wouldn't even eat because if I did, yeah, I knew I'd go to the bathroom 5 times and I'd have to leave my table and ask someone to watch it. And if I'm not at my table, I can't sell anything. If I'm not at my table talking about my art, what's the point of being there? So, and I'd be uncomfortable and so no good. But he asked me my story, so that's where it's at now. Now my story is I'm healthy and I'm back, baby. I'm back.
Yeah, you definitely are.
So it's a rebuilding process. I have all kinds of things that I need to do consistently again to rebuild to where I was before and to keep growing. But the whole time, even when I was sick, I never gave up. I might have given up hope on getting healthy, but I didn't give up hope that somebody out there would resonate with my art and resonate with what I was doing and be inspired by it.
Your darkest moment when you thought about getting the job. Tell me about it.
No, my darkest moment was when I thought about going on welfare.
Oh, I thought you was going to say suicide.
No, that's pretty dark too, but for me...
welfare was worse.
For me, going on, that's probably, I don't know, man.
Okay, this is the time where I would share my story.
Yeah, go ahead. Share your story here, please.
Because you
Because I used to make $100,000 a year. Going on welfare was like, nah, I can't do that.
Yeah, well, before I became an artist, I had been doing websites and marketing for people, social media and stuff like that, running people's social media, and I was making good money. So when I decided to cut and run on all that stuff and become an artist, I did go and get welfare. I'm a different type of person than I am.
Chris Dyer did too, by the way, so no shame if that's what you're doing, man, as long as you're actually using it to build towards things.
The only thing I could say is, and this has nothing to do with, it's people's tax money. I don't give a fuck, okay, about that, because the Senate steals more than any human does. But you owe it to yourself to actually put in the work. Once you start getting free money, if you fucking party or you spend it and you don't put in your own time, you're not honoring your own plan, then you're fucking up. This is the only way to say it.
You're asking for trouble.
You're asking for trouble, because you know what the government did to your boy? They want all the money back. They said I made too much money and they want all the money back. So that's what actually happens on welfare if you're not careful and you're too successful.
Yeah, it makes it harder to get out of that cycle because they'll cut you off of welfare if you make a certain amount, but that certain amount isn't enough to live on. So
cut you off. They cut you off and then
you end up with the same fear as you would have as if you had a job that you're afraid to quit.
Yeah.
So it can be an obstacle for some people if you're not using it wisely. For him, obviously, this guy used it wisely because, I own, 13... I actually own more than 13 of your paintings.
It was because you buy series.
14.
It's like he was buying one at a time.
He also gave me a drawing for my birthday that was really amazing that I really, really like. And, I own your hamburgers and your cat sculpture, which is actually... I gotta talk about this.
Oh, yeah, go for it.
This...
Hold on.
This.
Hold on, pass me this.
Here, this. What do you call him?
That cat, cream cat.
That cat. This cat. And look, because I'm an art collector and an art investor, I know a little bit about art collecting. You want #1 editions. Whoops.
And he was asking about that. You were asking about the number one. I was doing the test runs and he was asking about the #1.
Yeah.
Win it. Hey, I want that.
If you're investing in art, you want #1s, you want things that are masterpieces, really well-known art.
Did you know this, though? Did you know this? The Andy Warhol most famous ones, Brillo Box, Campbell Soups, they were flops when they came out.
Of course.
They were absolute flops. Everyone thought it was a joke. Nobody wanted the box. Nobody wanted the Campbell Soup. So what happened was he moved on to the next thing. And when he moved on to the next thing, he just left 12 Brillo boxes. Now a collector was able to collect the 12, knowing he wouldn't make more because it was such a bust.
Mm.
And that's why they're this most famous piece, because they're collectible.
Mm-hmm.
Where the other one, the Marilyn Monroe, there's too many. There's so many that it's like...
If one collector has them all, they're also obtainable to anyone else. If you control the supply, then the demand is like, yo, what? No, I'm not letting them go for that. But, let's talk a little more about art investing, because like we were talking, if you're an artist, you should buy art. If you're not an artist, you should buy art. If you hate art, then you should buy like lots of music, I guess. Support other creative people, but
but does the music make money? You'd be looking for first edition vinyl.
Yeah. As far as investing,
you know what I mean?
We're not talking about that. You're right. We're talking about investing, but
we're talking about flipping it. We're talking about this will make money. You can enjoy it for now, but
it's not only about flipping it either. Because I'll be honest, like I read a lot about art and business and investing, and a lot of artists or a lot of art collectors. Eventually, if the art is like blue chip art and it's well known, and like you can see, like you can get 3 appraisers that will all agree that this art is worth this amount, then you can take loans against it as a business person. And you can say, I have $100,000 worth of art that you might have bought 20 years ago for $10,000. And now you can get a loan against it, and you can go start your business. You can go buy your house. You can go, like, art is an asset that actually appreciates more than stocks and bonds. Like, over the last 100 years, art, fine art, blue chip art, has, like, the highest return of only one other thing beats it, and that's wine and spirits. And you can go Google that. You can go Google that. And it's also because they love art.
Yeah.
And they kind of go together. A lot of people think they do. I don't drink wine anymore.
Well, wine is an art. It's the art of putrefaction of a grape or other types of fruits.
Sure.
It's the art of putrefaction. And whoever can do it the best is the king.
There you go. Or whoever can market it the best is the king. Just like art.
Yeah. Definitely, because the oldest wine with the oldest story sells.
Mm-hmm.
If you're that vineyard in France that's been doing it for 17...
Or limited edition.
And it's limited edition 100 a barrel. You don't give a fuck about that Australia brand, Wallaroo. That's piss in a bottle as far as they're concerned, and they could sell for $10.
So let's cover a few more things to look for, and let's cover provenance. What does provenance mean to you? Do you know what I didn't
know what provenance meant before I met you, and that's like part of the things that you teach me. Provenance is... could be and is not exclusive to the signing of the canvas. So just having
part of it, small part of it.
It's a part of it, right?
Yeah.
Provenance is like a series of evidence that links you and the artist and the piece. It's like a trifecta between the three, because that's what you want. In the end, if it's ever to resell or ever to say that this is actually that artist's work, provenance is what proves it. So a picture of you and him holding it, over, done.
Yeah, nobody can argue that. If you have a painting of a picture of yourself with the artist, both holding the painting, smiling, nobody can say like, oh, you didn't get that from the artist. And provenance can also be other things. Like when somebody buys art from me, or even if you just buy stickers from me on my website, I send a signed thank you letter with a little hand-drawn doodle. And I sign it. So you get a piece of art from me that's hand-signed, even if you buy stickers for $7 or $10 on my website. So, I mean, that's provenance. And
also in that book, when we pulled out your commissioned painting of Chris Dyer, we went in the book and we saw it in the book. Mm-hmm. That's provenance.
Yeah, that's provenance too. That's also another...
That's a proof that it is in fact Chris Dyer, because he put it in his goddamn book.
Yeah, and or like another thing that can make art worth more and is also included under the umbrella of provenance is say a piece of art gets well known and it's put on clothing, or if it's like put on the cover of a magazine or used as a festival poster, or if it's ever...
Okay, so provenance is like it's
the history,
it's fame, it's story.
It's story. The story of the piece of art, the story of its place in the artist's career type of thing.
So if you're an artist, you should seek to embellish and really work on the provenance of a piece.
Yeah, exactly. Like if you can add extras, like if you can send, like say for example, if you do sketches of the piece first, like to give the sketches of the piece to the person, or to even say like, hey, if you want the sketches, like I'll give them to you for an extra $50.
Use Pacific Northwest as an example.
Nobody knows what Pacific Northwest is. Please stop bringing it up.
Exactly.
But I have a painting.
You don't even want to talk about it?
I don't want to talk about it. It's secret.
He's working on the provenance of it.
No, I'm not, because it's not ready to be even talked about yet.
Okay,
other than the fact there's a
painting.
A painting.
Okay.
Yeah.
And there's provenance being built around it before you even release it.
Yeah, definitely.
And that's genius.
Yeah.
Well, we're talking shoes, shirts, Go, name it.
Yeah, we're talking shoes, we're talking shirts, we're talking mouse pads, we're talking stickers, bookmarks, we're talking canvas prints, we're talking pens, we're talking like a lot of things. I can't even remember them all.
So then when it's released with the most provenance you've ever seen in your life that you want to buy the painting.
Well, I hope somebody wants to buy the painting.
You know what I mean? Instead of the storyline being, and then the painting is a blanket, and then the painting is a shoe, and then it's just all at once, surrounded by its provenance. It's going to be a good social experiment.
It is, yeah. I mean, honestly, I'm kind of excited just to see what happens. I hope y'all like the painting, because a big part of the reason that I did this with this specific painting is for months he was looking at it and talking about how it was his favorite painting.
It is.
And I'm like, okay, well, if this guy likes it that much, and I love this guy's taste in art, then I'm pretty sure some other people are going to love it, and I hope you're one of those other people, so stay tuned. Maybe I'll release it
And I'm here like, why is it not being released? And he keeps building provenance, where it's like, now it's a social experiment. Now I want to see how far you're going to take it, because who knows if you'll ever do it like that again. But the fact that it's going like that once...
Maybe I'll never release it, and I'll put it and all the products I make with it in a warehouse storage thing one day, and then when I die, it'll be on one of those storage auction shows, and somebody will be like, what?
No, it's one of the best pieces. The only thing stopping me from buying it is I think you priced it at $3,200?
Something like that. Yeah.
It's behind us.
Yeah.
It's literally like my head's blocking it.
Pretty much. Yeah, leave your head where it is there.
Yeah, see, like, so again, if you're investing in art, you want to hit them before they make a very nice painting and price it at $3,200.
I'm not like, okay, let's continue with the art investing thing. Another thing you want to do is if you're investing in art, look for provenance, and get series, get popular pieces, like buy from popular artists. But let's talk about canvases or original art versus prints. Or you should always buy original art. Something that the artist touched and worked with their hands.
I'm going to get a print and an original at the same time?
You could also do that that's an even better idea that I never thought of. That's an amazing idea.
What? Oh, to get both?
Yeah, to get both, if it's available.
Oh, no, I was getting an original and a print. These are some of Adam's paintings of mine that he has. So he got Rat Boys. He has a series. He has 9 of these Rat Boys. This is
not 9 of that one, but yeah, I'll go get another.
Yeah, 9 of they keep changing. But this is like one of my famous mashups. So I guess he wanted, and I kept going and when he asked for these, they were probably like a couple months, they were months old.
There's one.
You know, so he specifically asked.
There's a bunch more.
He specifically asked for the one with the provenance. You know, he's like these. He believed in these. I'll let you explain why you chose Rat Boy.
Well, because you've used Rat Boy character for a few years, and you've told me about it and reused them in different situations, and I kind of like him because you told me the story about how he kind of represents, like, you, so it's like...
Well, what's the explanation? You can say it, I don't mind.
Alright, well, you told me that they all have their hands in their pockets. So it's kind of like, a low-down representation of five-finger discounts and, whatnot. So, But at the end of the day, I really like the mashup of 2 popular characters from my childhood. I like the way he janked them to be like different cultures, bootlegs, and that made me laugh. And the story is what sold me on them, and what sold me on collecting Germ's art wasn't the story of an original painting or one character he does or anything. It's just it's the story of watching his stories on Instagram that I don't watch, and so watching his posts every day, and I do look at his posts every day that he doesn't post every day anymore because everyone's up in the stories. But look, Instagram isn't the place where I spend a lot of my time. Other social medias work better for me personally because that's where I built my crowd at the beginning that really supports me. For all you artists out there, one thing you want to learn in any business almost that has customers...
And we'll do an episode on this.
80-20. 80-20. 80% of your income is going to come from 20% of your customers, your collectors in the art world. Like if you have a bar, 80% of your drinks are going to get sold to 20% of your customers, the drunks. So it's kind of the same thing. The 80-20 rule is pretty well known in the business and economics world and whatever.
I did not know about this, but that's very smart.
So when you're selling art and somebody buys one piece, if they buy a second one, chances are they're going to buy a third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, you know, if you maintain a good relationship with them, you know, and that's super important, because over a period of time, it's those people that are going to make your income more steady, more regular. You know, at first when you're selling one painting here and there, and you're worried about when you're going to sell another one, and you don't know, and you're learning how to market, you don't understand yet.
You pick up the phone and you call the collector and you say, hey, I'll give it to you for the cheap.
You can do that, yeah.
I found out about that recently, that, like, people who bought multiple paintings from you, you can contact them and say, hey,
I have
cheaper
the, I
than
have,
fucking you thought.
You don't even have to sell it cheap. You can. People also like exclusive things. If you have a collector, be like, "Yo."
No, but I just ended up
like maybe I'll never. Maybe I won't even show the painting Pacific Northwest before it sells. Maybe I'll hit up one of my collectors and be like, "Yo, I have this painting and I have all these products I'm ready to release for it. Do you want to own the original? Forget giving a discount. Full price."
Yeah. So let's go back to you honor the person who buys your art. The person who's willing to buy your art, he's literally saying that if they do that twice, chances are they'll do that 6 times.
Yo, and
don't abuse it because it's fucking sacred, but they'll do it 6 times.
And look, I'm not saying never offer your collectors a good deal. That's not what I'm saying at all. But a lot of times the collectors that want to support you, they literally want to support you. They don't want you to give them a good deal. They want to pay you full price because they really love what you do.
I have some that make money flipping, so. No, they want to make good money too. So
for sure.
Give them a good deal.
It's possible.
Yeah, make some money, and then they'll buy more paintings.
There you go. So, I mean, you know, like, that's another thing you'll see if you watch a lot of these podcasts that we're going to do, because some parts of business we don't agree on, and
that's the best part.
We're going to butt heads and have different opinions, but, you know, there's also a lot of you watching that are going to be different people and come from different backgrounds and have different strengths and weaknesses about the way you do marketing. I'm weak on video marketing. I never do videos at all. I'm scared of being on tape. This is literally the first time. Before we started recording, I felt like I was going to throw up. I'm comfortable being on video if that guitar back there is in my hands, but until I started talking and Germ pretty much forced me to sit here, I literally felt like I was going to throw up.
And how do you feel now, like 55 minutes in?
Pretty stoked, and I'm glad we did it, and
yeah,
thanks.
It's great, eh?
Like, yeah, it's going to be awesome. I'm having fun. I know I'm going to have fun on future ones, so, like, I hope you guys are having fun and girls are having fun watching this, and anyone in between or not sure yet.
Leave a comment if you made it this far on, like...
yeah,
the best part and the worst part.
Yeah.
Make sure you put the worst part.
Yeah, tell us the worst part, because other people will see the worst part, and people love chiming in about negative stuff, so that'll really help us get more comments.
Oh, I didn't even think about that. I actually just wanted to know the worst part for my own... making it better.
Yeah, for sure. That's always good to know, too. I mean, personally, like, here's one thing, like, people that went to art school, they went through that whole process of getting critiqued and all that, and I'm self-taught. I developed my stuff doodling at call centers, so I never went through that. So, like, if you're in that situation where you're in art school getting your art critiqued by people and it's hurting you personally and da-da-da-da, first of all, realize that they're teaching you a bunch of different things, and all these different things aren't going to be the thing you're going to get known for in your career. So if they're critiquing you on something that you don't want to be good at anyway, who gives a crap? Second of all, a lot of these people, like, in your circle at the school, they look at you as competition in a way. So, of course, they're probably going to be rude and want to put you down and ruin your confidence, because they're going to want to have their own confidence, and, like, when you're still young. And
that's kind of what our
like,
society's like.
It's butting heads. It's Republicans. No. Are you doing, oh, your art's crap, you know? Like, just to see if they're going to get a reaction. People are bullies sometimes. So, like, don't take any criticism too seriously, because, like, the truth of the matter is, what we're talking about is what's going to sell your art has nothing really to do with the technique or even the art you're making. It has to do with the story.
Wow, this is the title of the podcast, is Story. We didn't know... When we started off, he was like, there has to be
it's
some
Arty
kind of
Time with Adam and Germ.
Arty Time.
Arty Time. Arty Time. Excellent. There you go.
But the point was that you wanted to have like a slight idea of what we were going to run with. What was the idea that we were supposed to run with?
I forget.
We forget. The point is that this
At least we remember the name. This one's a good one. Arty Time with Adam and Germ.
But this one's definitely about story, you know? And it's such a good one to start off with, which is, do you have, before we go forward with any more tips, do you have your story down? Do you have an elevator pitch? You know, it sounds like a fucking businessy thing to tell you, but if I'm in an elevator with you and you're an artist and you can't fucking tell me what you do and why you do it, emphasis on why you do it, then I'm getting out on the second floor. and taking the stairs.
Unless you have to really piss and the bathroom's on the 6th floor, then you're not.
No, you ruined it. That was such a good line that came to me. I'm getting off on the 2nd floor and taking the stairs, bitch. You better have your story and your why. But it's so important to have your why.
Yeah.
Because it's like,
it's important for you. It's important for you to have a why. If you don't know your own why, you're not going to give the effort. It's like important for you to believe that the things you're doing are going to work.
And this goes for everything.
If you don't believe that things you're doing are going to work and that the effort you're putting in is going to nowhere, then you're going to not do that effort. If you believe it's going to go somewhere, and trust me, it is.
That's the fuel.
It is. If you take little steps in the same direction every day, you can walk around the world.
Well, you get a raft. Or the Siberian ice bridge.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah,
okay.
You can't walk around the whole world, but you probably could walk around the outside of every continent. It might take you your whole lifetime, but that would be one hell of a journey.
You could walk around Antarctica.
If it doesn't break off when you're on it.
No, just walk around that. That's technically around the whole world. It's shorter travel.
He's right.
You know?
Got me there. Got me there.
But the point is that everything you've ever done in your life, you've planned it beforehand. And maybe you're not like a super long-term planning person. It doesn't matter. You planned it 30 seconds in advance or 5 seconds in advance. Everything you've ever done, you foresaw in your mind and you manifested. That's what being human's all about. We have a weird, innate ability to think that maybe that's possible and to carry out the acts in which it becomes possible. And true magicians are people who do things that other people thought were impossible. And that's why an artist is somewhere near that pedestal of a magician.
I think so. I think what artists do is they make the unbelievable believable. When you see an artist create things that you can't believe somebody created, and then you can't believe that they turned it into a career, and you can't believe people pay them $10,000 for a painting, and you can't believe. Well, they're making you believe. And if you believe in yourself, you can do whatever you want to.
And let's be very clear here. There are famous artists who make ungodly amounts of money and people still don't believe. And it happens. They go to a bank and they pull out money and they buy Gucci, Louis Vuitton things. And my mom or fucking your mom don't believe it. Mm-hmm. If they met that person in the street, they still wouldn't believe it. Mm-hmm. So there's going to be people in your life that won't believe in you. Mm-hmm. It doesn't matter. It literally does not matter. There will be a sea of them at the end too that won't believe. But it doesn't matter.
If you work at Starbucks and you stay there for 10 years and become a manager and stay there for another 10 years and eventually buy your own franchise, there's going to be baristas that won't believe it.
Such a good story.
There's going to be baristas that will
who work for you
that will be jealous of you because they won't understand the path you took to get there and that you worked your ass off to own that Starbucks. Mm-hmm. They say it takes 10 to 15 years to become an overnight success.
That's a good point. That every overnight success, that there's 10 years of hard work behind that. Mm-hmm. And that's the truth, you know? Consistency is king. Just keep doing what you're doing because it's great. No one's knocking it. It could be the shittiest thing. Just keep doing what you're doing. But make sure your story's on point. Make sure you understand your why. Mm-hmm. Why are you doing that?
Because once you understand your why, you'll be able to communicate it better. And if you can communicate it well, then you'll sell art.
And it doesn't have to be anything complex. It literally just be, I'm making people happy by entertaining. I'm giving you my fucking why here. I'm literally just making people happy by being an entertaining person. Entertainment person. That's it. And hopefully you can look at a piece of art after and be like, that is that guy that makes me happy sometimes.
I hope I'm entertaining too, but I really want to inspire other people to whatever their dreams are, especially if it's art, because I can actually help you with that. I can't really help you if your dream is to become the world's most famous, paleontologist. Like, okay, go dig up bones, I guess. But if you're an artist...
I love dinosaurs. I thought we talked about this last time.
I do, but I don't know anything about the science of paleontology.
I think it's fake. We'll have a podcast about that one day.
Hopefully not.
Versus Adam. Are dinosaurs real?
Anyway, that's a story.
Google dinosaur rush.
Okay, cool. So I don't know, man. I don't have much more to say. I think we got an hour here.
We have an hour.
So I think that's good.
So all the episodes, unless it's a Christmas special, is going to be an hour long.
I can't see any reason to keep going for more than that. Otherwise, people have probably already tuned out after 55 minutes ago. Anyone who's still watching, that means they're going to watch the next one.
Dude, chances are, if you... Because you're not a podcast guy. But chances are, they got into their studio. They saw that they've been listening to that Kanye West album too many times. And they went looking for podcasts. they found this podcast.
Great. So
Now they're turning around and wondering why the fuck it's still playing, and they're talking about the fact that the podcast is still playing and why it's still playing.
I don't know.
My point is that like you leave it running, bro.
Yeah,
You
but
can do
I
2
don't
hours
feel like
and you're
talking
stoked,
anymore.
you're
I
stoked.
have stuff to do. I have paintings to make. I have social media to do. I have messages to
busy.
answer. I have emails to answer. I have like
busy.
3 paintings that I'm working on. I have a commission that needs like 20 more brush strokes and it's finished, then I get paid. I have like emails to write because I have clothing to go deliver to a store downtown tomorrow or the day after, and I got to find out when the owner's going to be there. Like, I have things to do.
You're busy, so we're gonna leave you on this note.
Hmm.
Why did we decide to do the podcast?
We decided to do the podcast. I decided to do the podcast because I was uncomfortable talking on video and I knew it would help. Second reason is Germ kept bugging me to. Third reason is I knew it would be a great way to tell the story. Fourth reason is because I really want to help artists and people who are thinking of working as artists or anyone who's interested in the behind-the-scenes life of artists. Like, I want to give you guys something to watch and be that thing that you were looking for to be interested in. And hopefully it'll manifest itself in ripples and you turning around and manifesting whatever it is your passions are.
And it's good for business. So this has been Arty Time with Adam and Germ.
Arty on. Excellent.
Yeah,
Arty time. Arty time.
All
Alright, turn this shit off.
As you're doing business with you.
Peace.